that I find quite strange is the power that words have, and certain words. If someone says a certain word, it can cause a lot of trouble. If someone says a certain string of words, it can cause a lot of trouble. But what is it about someone saying, I have depression, that brings on so many different responses and so many different ways of approaching it? Someone could say, I have depression. And there are so many different responses. All because we associate so much with that one word. And I'm not saying that depression is not something serious. It is. I mean, it's a complex mental disorder. And that's just how it's defined. And it can lead to, but then there's also varying depressions. There's just like, during the winter I feel depressed, and you have depression during the winter. That's called seasonal depression. It can range from moderate depression to extremely severe depression. And usually people associate just, I have depression, with one aspect of this. Where just like with the moderate depression, they'll just think of it as, I'm sad. And then you got the extremely severe depression where people will be like, oh my gosh, they're suicidal, they're self-harming, they're gonna throw themselves off a bridge at any moment, they're gonna bleed out, they're gonna cut themselves and die. And there's all this different stuff. And there's also all these stereotypes that go along with it. Like, someone can, most people will assume if you have depression, you self-harm. Those things do not equal each other. They could be connected to each other, but they do not equal each other. Someone can have anxiety and cut. Someone can have depression and cut. Or they can just do it for attention, and there are people that do that. Usually they'll just post a bunch of pictures of all their cuts, and you kind of get that certain vibe from them. But usually people will associate self-harm with depression, but there are people with depression that do not self-harm. There are people with depression that are not suicidal. There are people that cut that are not suicidal. There are just a lot of people that are different. And usually people and there's so much power in just that word. Power enough to make someone either extremely worried or just like, oh yeah, whatever. And there's so much power in that because we give it so much power. Someone could say simply, I have depression. It could just be how they are. They could be on medication, so it's not a big deal to them. And it just has the medication that goes along with it. That's how much it impacts their life. Sometimes someone could say, I have depression, and it could severely impact their life. And just these differences. And I'm not saying that everyone who's on medication has doesn't have depression impact their life. And I know that with people that are on medication, depression could still extremely impact their lives. And that's just a thing. I mean, medication doesn't work for everyone. Medication could work better for someone than it does for someone else. Everyone's different. we give certain words so much power. We give a lot of power to different to different mental disorders, to illnesses. If someone says to you, "My dad has cancer," your immediate thought is, "He's gonna die, he has cancer." What they left out is the type of cancer. They could say, "My dad has skin cancer." I mean, from what I know, that's pretty easy to fix with surgery. But I don't know much about cancer. And you could just do surgery to get rid of some of it. But there's still, but if someone says, "My mom has breast cancer," it could be caught early on, stage 1 breast cancer, then they get rid of it, it's gone. It could be stage 4, I don't know, breast cancer, and she could be dying. I don't know. Does stage 4 involve dying? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about cancer. Maybe it's like stage 6 or whatever, stage 2. I don't even know. But there's just so much power in different words. Like, everyone puts a label on certain words that hold power. And if someone says, like for example, if someone says the dress, you will immediately have people be like, "It's gold and white, it's black and blue." That holds that power. If someone says 9/11, there's a lot of power in that word, depending on where you live. If someone says, anti-vaccination, there's going to be people that are like, "Yes, anti-vaccination. Don't vaccinate your kids." There's going to be other people like, "Are you stupid? Vaccinate your children, okay? Do you want them to get polio? Do you want them to spread measles that have been gone for years?" All these words have power. And it could even be in different languages. I take a ASL 1 course, and no, that does not mean age, sex, location in this context. It means American Sign Language. Different things you say in ASL have different meanings. Like if someone were to sign this, you think like a hearing person. A hearing person means something different. It holds different power. If you say cochlear implant, man, does that hold power. You're gonna get people like, "Okay, what's the big deal? It's a cochlear implant. It just helps you hear. Whatever." Then you're gonna have people being like, "No more cochlear implants! You're gonna erase deaf culture! You're gonna destroy deaf people!" It holds a lot of power. If you were... and just different things like that. And I think that what holds some of the most power, just to me, is the phrase, "How are you?" Because your entire answer can decide whether you are rude or polite. What you're supposed to say is, "I'm good, how are you?" And you could be having the worst day ever. If that person at the cash register says, "Oh, hello, how are you today?" You're supposed to reply with a smile, "Oh, I'm doing well, how about you?" Even though in the back of your mind it could be like, "My cousin just got run over by a train right after my sister ended up having to go into surgery, and my dog got rabies, and now I've been diagnosed with AIDS." You could be having that kind of day. You could be like, "I'm pregnant, I just got chased by a bear." And you're still supposed to reply with, I'm doing good today. How about you? And I think that holds the most power beyond anything.